So Donald Trump was interviewed by Mark Levin about his book. Now, it's literally a picture book. Okay. Trump wrote a book, but it's just a picture book. Look at this. Okay. Here's one of the pictures in the book. And look at the caption. Attempting to listen to crazy Nancy Pelosi in the Oval Office. Such natural disagreement. It's literally a picture book. This is the staged Situation Room picture that we now know was totally fake and phony. So this book that he wrote, it's literally a picture book. He was interviewed by Mark Levin last night about the book. And the interview is crazy. Here he talks about gas prices.
Gasoline was $1.87. That was a year ago.
Now, that's not true. A year ago, gasoline was $2.20. So that's lie number one.
And now it's, I guess, just hit $7.50 in California. The rest.
Now, in California, maybe there's a place where super premium is $7.50. I don't know. But Trump said gas was $1.87 a year ago. It was $2.20. It's now $3.38 nationally. So you can't compare gas nationally to gas in California, right? Gas is $3.38 right now. And gas is $4.70 in California. It's not $7.50. So I guess that's 3 lies in 12 seconds. Is that about right? 3 lies in 12 seconds. Here's Trump talking about how it was beautiful when he was president.
We weren't leaving $85 billion behind. We weren't leaving 10 cents behind. I said every bolt, every screw, every nail comes out. And all of these things, it was a beautiful period. I was under assault, like no president has ever been, I assume. I don't think any president has ever been under assault like this.
I don't even know what I'm doing, sir.
And one thing after another, phony impeachments. I call it the impeachment hoax number 1, the impeachment hoax number 2.
I thought he was under paprika, not under salt.
The Mueller thing, although it worked out good, but it took 2.5 years, and it made it very difficult to deal with certain countries, in particular Russia. You know, we could have done some great things with Russia. Very good for our country, also good for Russia.
Supposedly Old Bay seasoning has him under a barrel. Okay, then he talks about the whole Kim Jong-un thing.
Up in a war, that's the biggest problem we had. So I became, we did very well with Kim Jong-un. And we liked each other. Isn't that a terrible thing to say? We liked each other. I'll get criticized. Oh, he likes Kim Jong-un. Well.
And what happened, if you watched the election, I was called by the biggest people, big, massive dumps.
That's what we have. And I did. I got along with him great. He got along with me great. After a very rough start, if you remember Little Rocket Man.
Remember when he said they wrote each other love letters and that they fell in love? Trump still calling it the Spanish flu of 1917 and still wrongly saying that it ended World War I. Let's see if we can count the lies here.
All over the world.
Let me see.
So in 1917, as you know, we had...
Okay, there's lie number 1. Okay, it was 1918, not 1917. That's lie number 1.
Spanish flu, it was called. And it possibly killed as many as 100 million people. You know, I don't know if you read the history of the Spanish flu, but you probably, I think you read about everything, come to think of it. But it probably was a thing that was most responsible for ending World War I.
Now, that's a lie. The Spanish flu did not end World War I. Also, when Trump says 100 million people killed, the estimates are 17 to 50 million, with a sort of outside estimate maybe of 100 million. It's not a lie. It's not the conventionally accepted number.
Because all the soldiers were sick, and many were dying. The Spanish flu was devastating. And they say up to 100 million people died. And it probably did end World War I. But 100 million people. I think this would have been similar without the vaccine.
Now, what's funny is, if you want to talk about the United States, the belief is that 675,000 people died of the Spanish flu in the U.S. And we're already at 800,000 from COVID. So when Trump says it could have been worse, it is worse. it is worse because the number in the US is higher. You know, whether it's 50 or 100 million. Okay. Then Trump says the country's not living up to the Constitution.
Well, number one, I love our country, and our country is based on the Constitution. And, you know, our country is not living up to the Constitution right now with the kind of things you see. They're trying to subvert it.
Now, I would like, and I have a longer commentary on this that we're going to publish later. First of all, Mark Levin should be saying, sir, why did you write a picture book?
Sir, your wife is up in the air.
Right? Like that would be question number one if this was a real interview. But the second question would be, what element of the Constitution or the Bill of Rights is being subverted right now? Like actually ask what it is. He would probably say freedom of the press because he mentions it, but he wouldn't really be able to defend it.
And more so now than anybody would ever believe.
Bernie
Sanders is saying, I can't believe they're doing this. This is far more than what they're doing to our country is perhaps, you know, they talk socialism. This is communism in so many ways.
What is communism would be a great question here.
There's no freedom of the press. The press
There is freedom of the press.
is totally corrupt. The press and them are the same. There's no freedom of the press. That's how communism started.
It's funny how he says the press and the government are the same. When did that start? Because wouldn't that have been the same? Not much has changed with the media since he left office. It's all very, very confused. Trump says he did a great job with COVID.
But I built him a hospital. I sent in the hospital ship. I built hospitals in Louisiana. I built hospitals all over. Portable hospitals, thousands of beds. We did a phenomenal job, except when it came to public relations, because no matter what we did, the press would not cover it fairly. So we did a fantastic job. The one thing we are, but I built. All
right. Jimmy Carter's happy because he's no longer the worst president. That's unironic. That's like he's not being ironic, but there's a way in which it's actually funny.
And the good news is Jimmy Carter's a very happy man because he's no longer going down as the worst president in history.
Now you could say thanks to Donald, right? But of course that's not what he means, but it's still pretty funny. And here he is being interviewed about his picture book. Check this out.
Yeah.
At a meeting filled with individuals. What was that all about?
Well, I have a number of pictures, and I have a picture of Nancy Pelosi.
Guys, the book has a number of pictures, okay?
I have a picture of Merkel of Germany, who I got along with very well. That was a pointer also. We have a lot of pointers. You know, there are a lot of people pointing. But with Pelosi... Yeah.
Isn't that great? And then lastly, here's just a really confused comment about gas prices. This is maybe my favorite moment from the interview.
I don't think people see it that way. They knew that they got gasoline for X dollars a tank, and now they can multiply it times 4, and they're saying, what's happened?
X dollars per tank. Okay, hold on. I'm going back to algebra. X per tank all multiplied times 4. Do I need a protractor or one of those TI-83s for that? I don't know. Okay, so that's that.